Hey, this is Malika of Evanston Live TV, and we are here at Kurt's Cafe on Dempster. Many of you have seen a beautiful young lady named Karli Butler. I know many of you know her. She gives you the best experience here at Kurt's Cafe, and she works with the young women here. She came aboard Kurt's Cafe because she believes in their mission, and she always gives you just that smile, that hospitality that you're looking for. Many of you saw my video earlier today. I had like a bad experience at Dunkin' Donuts. No reflection on Dunkin' Donuts, but that employee she did not help my day today. But I come in Kurt's Cafe and I see Karli, and let me tell you all, this woman's story is so inspiring. She has a level of forgiveness in her spirit and her soul and her heart that many cannot come close to. I know I can't. I'm working on it. Me and her were just talking, and she's recognizing that I'm on my journey of forgiveness for, some things that were out of my control in my life. And I'm sure many of you have had some things that have happened in your life that was totally out of your control, but you had to deal with it. And I watched her on TEDx. If you all get the opportunity, go to YouTube, type in Karli Butler, K-A-R-L-I, Butler, look for her TEDx video, and you'll be captured. The story is so beautiful, and I'm going to let her tell the story, and then I want to know her spiritual journey to get to that level of forgiveness, because I don't think I know of anyone other than Jesus. Jesus himself that forgives on that level. So I'm going to turn this around to Karli Butler. Hi, lady.
Hi. Hello.
Thank you so much for your time today. Thank you. So you and I were talking. I watched the video TEDx. I had heard your story around Evanston, and and then I approached you. I wanted you to come on the show to talk about your story. And I know you're doing amazing things now. I mean, your life is just, I think everybody should hear it, because it's on a level that many of us would probably never reach spiritually, So then I watched the TEDx video, and I said, oh, this girl, I got to talk to her. I've got to talk to her, because so many of us are battling forgiveness, whether it's forgiving ourselves, forgiving others, forgiving ourselves so we can forgive others,
All the time.
all sorts of levels of forgiveness, right? So if you can just, walk people through, I want them to go see the TEDx video so they could hear step by step everything that happened, but just like an overview of what happened, and then I want to go into your spiritual journey.
Okay. So I was attacked twice in 2006. And during the second attack, I was held at gunpoint and assaulted with acid. And it was a woman who did that to me. There were actually two women, but only one was convicted. So that attack resulted in third-degree full-thickness burns to 30% of my body, and my life was forever changed. I went to sleep one person and woke up someone else. I became a burn survivor, a crime victim, overnight. And what was most shocking was that my physical appearance changed so drastically that I didn't recognize myself. And that kind of change is life-altering, because you kind of lose who you are, you lose your identity. And while I was recovering in the hospital, I spent 6.5 weeks in the hospital, had over 15 surgeries. It was a journey trying to figure out who I was, right? So I believe in God, had strong faith, but I kept asking why this happened to me and why this woman would do something like this to me. And I was beyond angry with her. I hated her. I wanted bad things to happen to her. I wanted vengeance. And if you're healing and you're thinking about negative, or if you're trying to heal and you're thinking about negative things, you'll come to find that does nothing for you emotionally. It doesn't help you at all. And I kept thinking about her so much that it was literally making me sick. And it was turning me into a really evil person. I was lashing out on my family and friends, and I was consumed by her. It didn't help me in any way. So after, suffering through depression, figuring out who I was in this world and what I was going to do with myself and who I wanted to be, I decided that I did not want to live with this hatred in my heart anymore. And it was just a thought at first, because people are like, oh, you're so positive, and you know, you forgave, but it did not happen overnight. Okay? So everybody's journey of forgiveness is different, right? It's very, very personal. And I realized that not only did I need to forgive her, right? I needed to forgive myself. There was a lot of blame. Like, what happened to me was because of a guy that I was dating, right? And I did not ask all the right questions. I didn't know all that I felt I should to be able to make an informed decision about not being with him anymore. And so I held on to that, and it pretty much ate me up. So I had to I really need to start with myself. And by forgiving myself, I was able to move on to then forgive the people who hurt me and changed my life.
So, wait. So her actions, it was over a guy.
So I was attacked 2 times, and the detectives never got a reason why, right?
Okay.
But acid attacks are very personal, and I was attacked 2 times. Lightning doesn't strike twice. So all these people say they didn't know each other, but there was one common person, and that was my ex-boyfriend. So he, who was never charged with anything or never convicted of anything, was allegedly involved in some street activity. And whoever he upset, and those people's pursuits to hurt him, they hurt me. So he never gave me the option of saying, hey, people are out to get me. He never told me that. So I didn't say I don't want to be part of this. And I still was the one that was harmed. So he never accepted responsibility for what happened to me. Our relationship dissolved shortly thereafter of me being attacked. And all of the people involved said that they didn't know each other. So now this one person is held accountable for what happened to me. And of course, I have lots of questions. So when I was thinking about writing her, a part of me was like, well, maybe she'll tell me a little bit about why, or maybe she'll admit to it. Maybe she'll say sorry, right? I really went into it with an open mind, knowing that she might respond and she might not. And I was okay either way. But I thought, well, maybe she might give me some answers that I don't have. So I have to be okay with not ever having those answers.
And how are you okay with, because like I said, many of us out here are dealing with some things, you know, and those burning questions, I think, is what, you know, made me make some bad decisions in my life because of no forgiveness, not having any answers. And so how do you get to that space of, I don't even want to know the answer?
I mean, just evolving. I needed to move on, right? And sometimes when you need to move on, you may not get the closure you want, but you can create closure, right? So I said, I want to be done with this, and I want to move on to something else. And when I started focusing on the things that made me happy, it made me feel free, and just doing things that brought joy to my life, things just naturally started, good things started happening, right? I had to let go of these negative thoughts, let go of these negative people in order to get positive things. And so it just, I always say that I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be, because I never thought that that bad experience would somehow put me on this trajectory of being here. Does that make sense? It is so crazy.
Yes.
I never thought that I would do this kind of work. I never imagined it. I never knew that I had this inside of me, but it was really that experience that brought me here.
Okay, I have a question from Marsha. She said, did she get the justice she deserved? And you are beautiful.
Thank you. So sweet. Justice. What is justice? I mean, that's a really complicated question. The more I learn about restorative justice, the more I understand and recognize that our penal system is not rehabilitative, right? So she got the minimum amount of time. She was charged with 2 counts of heinous battery, which is a Class X felony, and the sentencing was 15 to 45 years. She got 15 years. Now, when I was first injured, did I think 15 years was enough? No, I wanted her buried under the prison. I wanted her to just be away where I never had to think about her again. But there was another piece of me that felt really guilty for putting someone in jail because I didn't know what she had been through. I didn't know her mental state, and I didn't know if she was going to get the help that she really needed in that space. So
that's a beautiful spirit in you because, yeah, I mean, a lot of people would never even try to put themselves in another person's shoes.
Yeah, I don't know. There was something like I really had this hatred for her, but then there was this like piece of like she's a human being just like me. Like, what if I made a mistake or like I don't know. It's just so complicated. I just hope that she can move on with her life.
Now you said she would be released soon, and you all will be sharing a space here on Earth together.
Yes.
So where are you with that, with accepting that and realizing the reality of that?
Well, I feel like every day something comes up where I'm like, oh my gosh, my life might change, or I might have this sudden fear, or I wonder what it's going to be like, right? But it's a lot to think about. I just take it one day at a time. It's like part of me is not afraid, but another part of me, she didn't respond to me. So I extended the olive branch and I got nothing back. So I don't know where she is, right? But I'm just hopeful and prayerful that she will stay on her end of town and move forward with her life and be peaceful.
Okay, Bonnie says, Karli, you are awesome.
Thank you.
Yes. And so what's next for you? I mean, you're doing so much. You're all over Evanston. I see you just ripping and running. You're working with Officer Gentleman Academy. You're doing a lot here at Kurt's Cafe. You just got your master's not so long ago, right?
So I finished my master's program in 2010.
Okay.
But I just finished Leadership Evanston,
Okay.
which I'm really proud of. I just love this community. I'm so excited to be a fourth generation Evanstonian and to have my son growing up here. So I try to know what's going on and be involved and just be positive, I guess a positive person in the community. So I am so excited about writing a book to share about my experiences. It's been a long time coming, and so I'm looking forward to that. I have also worked with a t-shirt designer here to share my new initiative, If These Scars Could Talk, which I should have worn today, but I didn't. Just as being intentional about healing and getting people to share their stories, because we all have scars, whether they're internal or external. We're all healing from something, but sometimes we don't know unless we share.
Right.
And there's so much power in stories and being able to share and relate. So, yeah, that's what I'm up to. And just really working and being involved with my students.
Now, the question came up, have you forgiven her? In the TEDx, you had forgiven her and you even sent her a book about forgiveness, and that's what she didn't respond to?
Right.
Okay.
So I was gifted a book by Jean Bishop called Change of Heart here at this cafe before I started working here. And initially I couldn't read it because it was too deep, right? Just too much emotionally. But then when I did read it, like when I started it, I couldn't finish it. I was underlining and highlighting because this woman, her sister and her sister's husband were murdered, and she was able to forgive her killer by her story was so powerful. I'm like, how does she know my life? How does she know what I'm feeling? Like, I haven't ever talked to anyone who really understands this. So we ended up meeting, and when we met, that's when I was like, okay, I'm out of excuses. I have to send this letter. It's been on my heart for a long time. So I underlined my favorite passages in the book and sent her a letter with the book. And that was it. I did it, and I was nervous as heck.
When you talk about it in the TEDx video, I felt like I was with you at the post office.
Because I was so nervous.
Mm-hmm.
I was shaking. My heart was jumping out of my chest. There wasn't enough time in the TEDx video for me to add it, but I recorded myself before I went in, and I recorded myself when I got back in the car. So I have those videos, and when I watch them, I'm like, oh my gosh, I was freaked out. But I did it.
And did you ever speak to the ex-boyfriend again? Hey, hi, Mr. Weaver.
So our relationship dissolved, shortly after me leaving the hospital. I mean, there were too many unanswered questions. Every time I'd ask him about what happened to me, he would deflect, right? I'm like, do I really know who you are? Do you really have my best interests at heart? No. So, correlation isn't causation, but when he left my life, bad things stopped happening to me.
Wow. That's deep. That's deep. Yeah, I think a lot of people can relate to that. Sometimes it's the people around you and their demons, and it kind of bleeds over into your life.
Yes.
Wow. Well, Karli, you are an amazing woman. You're getting these comments that you're fascinating and you're a strong Black woman.
Thank you.
And they can't wait to read your book.
Oh.
So you definitely got to let us know when the book is out. And,
Yes.
Evanston Live TV will be there for the book signing.
Thank you.
And you are such an inspiration. I mean, you are the vision of forgiveness. You've taught me so much in that TEDx video, and it's took me on a journey, a spiritual journey of figuring out, have I really forgiven this person? So thank you.
That means a lot to me, because the whole point of me doing that video, it scared the hell out of me doing the entire TEDx process, right? But it was like the perfect timing. So knowing that me sharing that impacted you in any way, shape, or form means so much to me. It's like I'm doing exactly what I'm here to do, and I'm grateful. So thank you.
You thank you. And when you had said you had asked God, why did this happen to you? I think he knew you had the spirit, the strong spirit to handle it and then heal so many other people, because I don't think many of us would have that heart or spirit of forgiveness. We would just be bitter and wasting away. You know what I mean? And many of us are. Are so bitter and haven't moved on.
It's really personal, and you have to be in a space to open yourself up. Because a lot of it has to do with you expecting something from the other person, right? And opening up those old wounds to figure out what is the real issue, what are you really angry about. But I wanted to be free.
Well, thank you. Teaching us freedom, not just forgiveness, but freedom. Freedom. So thank you so much. We'll look forward to the book, and I'll keep everybody posted when the book comes out. And we love you, Karli. Thank you so much for your time today. All right.